Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from MagTheMovieGuy.com, and today we're going to talk about The Handmaid's Tale, Season 1, Episode 6. This is a follow-up to the previous episode where, by the way, spoilers, June and Luke were captured. So, yeah, I definitely saw that coming, even though I'm a blind film critic, so I watched this with audio description. So if you are a fan, just remember this show does have audio description on Hulu. You can listen and watch and enjoy this film and follow it. It's great. Series, TV series, not film. Whatever. You get it. This episode is where I actually sort of kind of got what they're trying to do. Now I'm here. Before I was wondering where we were headed this season, and I picked up on some hints, but now I'm quite positive that the theme for the season is that someone noticed in the real world that there are some women who support things and they don't really know that supporting these things means the end of their own autonomy. So what they're doing is they're highlighting this season through the characters that dare to support the world of Gilead. And they're showing you that maybe the grass is not as green as they originally thought. Now they've done this starting with the girl that was the wife that we saw last season, and then her husband died, and now she's a handmaid because she helped with the escape. So they punished her and made her a handmaid because she's young and fertile and whatever. And you see the experience that she's going through. And in this episode, we saw exactly what she had gone through. And one of the reasons why she wanted to kill herself and why she was so mad at Janine was because she had been raped by Putnam. And he had circumnavigated the process and hadn't gone through the ceremony. Technically, she was not his handmaid. And Gilead is formed on all of these rules and laws about, sin and following the Bible, and it's supposed to be this. So when he thinks he's so high and mighty that he can just do whatever he wants, and he's trying to rub it in people's faces, it turns out, guess what? No more Putnam. He got axed this episode, and I did not see that coming. I did not see his death, but then again, I didn't know the whole thing was revealed within the course of one episode. The why and then the death were in the same episode, so there wouldn't really have been a reason unless that's what you suspected happened when he was feeding her chocolates. But there was no real reason to suspect that she had been raped. Rather, simply that the experience that she had was like, I can't do this. I'm out, So that's kind of what I just thought. I didn't realize that he had broken tradition. There's this whole ceremony and everything. And Aunt Lydia was right. That's another thing. It was really nice to see Aunt Lydia stand up. And I know she was standing up to Bradley Whitford's commander, but whose name escapes me, but I know it's Bradley Whitford, so I want to call him Commander Whitford. And, he's like, hold your tongue, reminding her, no matter how close you think you may be flying to the sun, you are not the sun. You are not in the inner circle. The inner circle is full of men. It's the same thing they did to Serena. They reminded her that, yes, you may have helped and been hugely instrumental in the formation of Gilead. You're a woman. So fuck off. That's exactly what Lydia is seeing is, I mean, she's been doing this grooming handmaids thing for years, and doing so by genuinely believing in what it is that she does. And you see that in her, and you see her faith sort of tested. But she, at the end of the day, she did the right thing and she stood up for the right reasons. And she did it all while not having to lose her faith. It'll be very interesting to see where Aunt Lydia goes. And also, we saw Serena, who is not experiencing, she's not having happy fun times with the crazy lady that was obsessive at the very beginning. I think I referred to as a bit much before we got a character name for her. I was like, I don't know who that was, but she was a bit much. When she greeted Serena for the very first time. Now we know not everything in that house is great. They're trying to get her to date this doctor. And they're like, oh, well, you can't be a single mom. And she's like, I'm not a single mom. I'm a widow. No, Gilead doesn't recognize widows. Sorry. They expect you to remarry. They want you to remarry your gynecologist, apparently. So, fun. So Serena is offered the opportunity because Luke and June have been kidnapped to go down and see June's execution, which she fights really hard to go, and they let her, and she does a great job of making everybody believe that, and I was like, yeah, of course she wants to go down there and see, but we're not killing off June in the middle of season 5. That would have been a radical choice, by the way. I mean, like, first of all, the internet would have broken down. Time would have stopped. If we had killed June in this episode and there was still like a season and a half left to go of The Handmaid's Tale, I can't even think of a bolder. There is no bolder choice. That's that's like if 7 seasons ago Meredith Grey just dropped dead on Grey's Anatomy and they were like, oh, I guess we're gonna keep going. I don't know. So, I know Walking Dead managed to drop Rick Grimes and move on, and that was, depending on how you feel about the series, either they should or should not have stopped at that point, but he wanted to leave and they wanted to keep going with the series. So it would have been one hell of a choice to kill June in that moment, but I didn't actually think they were going to do it. I would have been jaw-dropping shocked if that had happened, but it didn't. Instead, Serena did exactly what I thought she was going to do and used it as her way to get freedom. And now she and June are together, and June has no idea what's going on. She is so confused. She's like, Serena, what the fuck? She totally thought Serena was going to kill her. Serena had the gun. Serena made her beg and pray. And then Serena just turned around and shot the guy. And I was like, that's a great moment in television, is the attempted redemption arc of Serena. Because she obviously needs June for something. It's almost like she's realized, I think possibly, that June has a point. Now, how much of that she's willing to admit is a question. But she knows that June is really good at working around the system. And if Serena wants to live a life on her own where she has control over herself and her child, possibly June can help her do that. So, but June's going to want Luke back. So Luke went off somewhere. He was in a bus to somewhere. Don't know where, don't know for what. We didn't get that. So Luke is still in danger. But he hasn't been this entire series. And I know it sounds kind of mean, but like every character but Luke has been in like mortal danger at some point. So perhaps it's about his time to experience what that's like. That was kind of what he was saying in that holding cell. He's like, I can't believe you went through this. I can't believe it. And I was like, yeah, dude. What do you think Gilead was? Disney World? Like, Yes, it was terrible. It's a terrible experience for many, many people involved. So Luke will find that out for himself, I'm sure. I'm interested to see what happens to him in the next episode. But the question now is, can these characters get redemption? And as a fan, I always bring up Walking Dead in my reviews because I love Walking Dead. As a huge fan of The Walking Dead, who would stand up right now and say that Negan has earned his place in the world, even after everything. First of all, his situation was different because when you really look at it from his perspective, he was attacked first. By the way, he has some other problems where he was like collecting wives. That's really the shittiest thing he was doing pre Rick Grimes showing up. But the actual like things that people hate Negan for, like killing Glenn and stuff like that, he's saved so many lives at this point that if he hadn't been around, a lot of people would have died, including Judith, by the way. So he has proven himself to be worth keeping around because he's good at keeping people alive. Surprisingly so. So the question is, can any of these characters, like Serena or Aunt Lydia, earn redemption in a world where possibly by the time the series is over, Gilead falls? Do Serena and Aunt Lydia get to live on? And we have a season and a half to figure that out. So that will be an interesting trip. But it seems to be that that's where the series is headed. And Esther is already on her way to redemption. She's already trying to get there. But it's interesting to see that they're doing the same for Aunt Lydia and Serena, I think. I'm pretty sure with Serena, I think that's what's happening. I think she does not like what's happening to her. So this is a woman who likes to be in control, and she's not in control right now. So that's my Handmaid's Tale review for the week. You didn't think I was going to talk about that much stuff. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. I'm going to give The Handmaid's Tale Season 5, Episode 6. Did I say Season 1 at the beginning? I hope not. Season 5, Episode 6. An A. Now I have to wonder whether or not I said the right season. I know what season we're in. Anyway, if you stayed this long, you probably like me enough to add me to your subscription list, which would be great because I'm trying to get to 100 this year. That would be great. I'd love to have you on my subscriber list. So just click that button, and I'll be there. I'll just be like in your list of rotating people that you subscribe to. I also have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. I have a Twitter, @MacTheMovieGuy. There's a theme there. You can also go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org if you ever want to look up a show and see who's narrating it, or if you want to look up a narrator, or it's also got other people who work on narration, who work on like sound mixing and writing, and it's a great resource. So give it a look-see. That's it for me today. I got to go review something else, but I will see you on the other side.